Hello everyone, welcome to GT Time. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us as always is our uniquely talented and knowledgeable panel, including Brandon Jones.
Hello.
Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
And Michael Damiani.
Hey,
Love that, hey ya. How's everybody doing?
Pumped. I mean, did you feel that, hey ya? We're all that right there. That summed the whole thing up.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Exciting week.
Exciting week. PAX just ended. Brandon and I went to PAX.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
We have just about as many preview events happening next week. Airplanes.
Are you allowed to speak about those preview events?
No, probably not.
Okay.
But yeah.
So wait,
lots
you're
of
gonna be
individual games.
You gonna be riding planes next week?
I'm gonna be riding planes.
Cool.
Gonna be in San Francisco for like 3 days next week. Ben Moore's gonna be up there one day next week. The day that I'm not in San Francisco, I'm doing something up the road here. So yeah.
Bloodworth, be honest right now. How do you pick which trips you go on and which trips you send Ben on?
Basically, I don't want Ben to get overloaded on stuff, and he's already overloaded on stuff. So
No, I wanted your honest answer.
That was a safe answer.
That was a safe answer.
what do you mean?
That was like, I don't want Ben to get overloaded, so I'll go on this one. What's your real, what is the real parameters of that's the trip I'm going on?
The parameters was Ben was already going on a trip.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to go on this other one, and then, there's another one, so I guess I'll go on that too. But I mean, it kind of depends on what the games are. Like, 2 of the games are games that I already have experience with anyways. So I'm going to do that because he's not as familiar with those games. So.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it one bit.
That man needs to get a Divinity review done, so
Yeah. He's always busy, so.
How many
He
views?
has like 6 projects. I have a list of, I don't know why, but 8. But he probably has 8. But yeah, I have a list of everything Ben's working on.
Yeah, I'm really excited he's still working on the Divinity review because I think the time is that ship has sailed, certainly, of anyone who would
he actually
value it.
wasn't, and but he's picking it back up because he's like, oh yeah, we should have done this.
Oh, I mean, the ship has sailed in terms of people who haven't bought it already and I wonder what the reviews are for Divinity. Clearly everyone likes it, but I always appreciate Ben cares enough about the review process that he thinks we should have a review up for it. So
yeah, and I don't want to overpromise because, like I said, he's got a lot going on, and that's a long game, so who knows?
So you're saying it might not happen still?
Why not?
Will it happen?
I hope it does, but
before
why not?
QT 2015, Q2 2015.
if it gets that long out and it actually happens, then sure.
Okay. Y'all want to talk about news?
I don't know what we're talking about. Just talking shop right now.
Just talking shop. I was just trying to get some honesty out of Bloodworth for once. Couldn't crack him.
No.
Wait, okay.
See, he doesn't even know what you're talking about. That's how deep it goes. Total misdirection.
He's hid himself in front of another brain. Yeah, Damiani, you've not said one word this entire episode other than hey ya.
He's just sullenly looking at the desk.
And he's just, if you're just listening, he's gripping his own knuckles. He's doing some sort of strange. What are you stressed about? What's going on?
No, it's not stressed. It's just meditative thing to get in the zone.
Is this a new thing? A new
He's
initiative?
moisturizing.
Moisturizing now.
Are you in the zone? Are you in the zone? Are you ready to talk about Sony's pre-TGS press conference?
I was in the zone right before that.
I just ripped you out of the zone?
I fell into the trap of getting too hyped for that and set myself up for disappointment.
Yeah. I was very hyped too.
I don't know why I do this to myself.
Yeah, you got me real hyped.
Right.
This came out of nowhere. So we're at PAX.
Yes.
And all of a sudden it's like, no, we can't go to sleep. And I almost made it through the whole thing. I passed out right before the big announcement, before Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
The big announcement. But
you don't have to do quotation marks. That was a big announcement.
it was the biggest announcement of the show, probably.
Sure. But yeah, it was you and me in a hotel room watching off a laptop.
Nice.
How are you watching it, Damiani?
So I was watching it on our couch with Ben Moore and my roommate, Matt. He plays Dr. Doom on a web series.
Okay.
You can be more specific.
If anyone knows the guy Maximilian who does Assist Me, well, my roommate plays the character Dr. Doom on that show.
Also has an incredible Iwata impression.
Oh yeah, he did the Iwata video as well that everyone loved. So three of us are sitting there watching it.
Yeah.
So he's like in full on troll mode because he knows it's gonna be terrible. Like he
knew.
He's given up on like Japan completely.
Sure.
He's like they don't know what they're doing. Ben's like excited because he's like Persona 5, Persona 5. I'm excited because all these people are like telling me like, oh, so and so from this PR department told me you should really watch this. I'm like, no, they're just saying that because they want you to watch. There's gonna be nothing like, I don't know. They're saying it's gonna be the best one ever, and I'm like, God, damn it. It's like, really? No, I don't want to get excited for this. So we were watching on the couch, and it was pretty good. There were moments where I had to walk away because at the same time I was also logged into 14 and all the Gaff Guild, and they're all watching it too. And I had voice chat on that, so I was going back and forth between reactions of the press conference, going back over, like talking with Ben and Matt, and then going back into my room and seeing what everyone in Gaff was saying and stuff. And there's this weird back and forth, and I was like really energetic at the beginning, but then like I was like, oh, so to start off they talked about Vita games, like. Holy crap! Like they're actually
the first logo that popped
they're talking about
Vita.
PlayStation Vita because it actually does well
in Japan.
or it's doing well now in Japan.
Yes.
So it's actually holding its own. It's like, all right, they're giving a shit about Vita. Like that's nice. Still don't care about it over here, but they care about it in Japan. So it was nice to see some games, even though a lot of those we already knew about. They're just showing more trailers for those types of games, like Phantasy Star Nova. Was the like one, like when they showed that trailer, I got so excited. I'm like, try Ace Space. I'm like, Star Ocean Sun. They're bringing Star Ocean. And I was like, and then Ben's like, no, it's Phantasy Star Nova. They already announced this. I'm like, don't ruin my dreams, man. Don't ruin my dreams. And Phantasy Star comes up. I'm like, no one cares.
No,
it's not Phantasy
cares.
Star Online 2. No one cares.
The monsters were huge.
No one cares. It's not Phantasy Star Online 2.
So wait, is it another Monster Hunter clone?
It looks.
Yeah, maybe, but it's like every monster is a boss. Basically, they're enormous.
Are we recording this? Are we saying Phantasy Star is like Monster Hunter?
No.
Okay, darn it.
Why? What?
There was a great moment where Ben Moore got pissed off about that when I told him Phantasy Star is just like Monster Hunter. And then Ryan Stevens chimed in and said, yeah, it kind of is. And Ben just like walked away. So reinforcing that notion is good. It's a good troll.
But no, I mean, I'm just saying, because I haven't actually seen it yet.
Then I think it's a fair parallel, Blood. Like
because
it
basically that's what's happening in Japan right now. You have Monster Hunter clones and you have Dynasty Warrior clones.
Ouch.
That's a lot of it.
You're gonna say that's basically what's happening in Japan right now?
In terms of trends, yeah. In terms of like what people are releasing,
yeah.
I mean, it's been like kind of that way for a couple of years.
That hurts to hear, Blood.
It does.
There was
Thankfully, though, there's Persona.
Yeah.
There's Disgaea.
This guy at 5.
Yeah.
They showed off. It was like, man, I really wish you could have seen like freaking Ben at the beginning when they just showing like the Vita stuff at the beginning, Danganronpa 2, whatever that was.
Mm-hmm.
He started going nuts, like, and it's like, what is this? Why are they shooting people? And I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. I'm like, Japanese, like Danganronpa. I don't follow that game series at all. I'm like, what's going on?
Can you explain more what he was doing when he was going nuts?
Because like, he was like putting his hand on his head like this, like no, like you. No, like that type of thing.
Like an excited no or a bad no?
I can't tell sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a little
bit of
confusing.
both.
Yeah.
It's ambiguous.
Yeah.
So it's like an ambiguous mix-up. Is he happy or is he sad?
Because they don't
Horrific?
shoot people in the franchise usually, or
I guess
what was the
I don't
shock
know.
there?
Like the shooting, the third-person shooting, or if it was first-person, I forget what it was.
Oh, that would be weird, right? Because it's more of a text adventure.
Yeah. So I guess that was weirding him out. Like, why is it like real time? So yeah, they talked a lot about Vita. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm a little excited. That's good. This is a good sign. They're actually talking about Vita. Then we get into the next part, and I was about to like rip my hair out. They just talked about Western game. They like went through. They showed off. They had to show off something. Like they showed off the Order. They showed off. What else they show off? They showed off like Witcher. They showed off Watch Dogs. I was like, I went to TGS. Everything was Western games. Like that meme was coming out.
Yeah. A lot of old trailers from E3.
Yes, they were all repeats. I was like,
for like Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah. Unity. I was like,
Do we have any awesome like overdubs, like Japanese overdubs of English trailers?
Oh no, they're generally pretty tame during the trailer, so there wasn't anything as fun as like what Knack was last year.
Okay.
The only thing they did is it was this funny hearing they had a male translator, and then randomly between the sentence they would switch, like a sentence would end and then they would go to a female translator to relieve the other one. Then it'd come, and then that same male translator came back a little bit later, and I was like, man, this is kind of like funny going back and forth. But both of them seem to be struggling a little bit.
I think the female translator was better.
Yeah.
The male translator would go, and I think that it's going to be
they had that last year.
Yeah, like very like, And it's really
I hate that when you like
Yeah.
hear like these weird deep
Yeah.
sounds in the back of their throat.
I
Ugh.
mean, I'm positive that live translation is just one of the hardest things to do.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so if
It's
he was
gotta
being
be
accurate,
terrible,
it's probably
yeah.
more important than him like
terrifying to
delivering
do.
it well. But it's just weird to listen to for 2 hours. By the way, it was like an hour and 45 minutes or longer. It was
That's
very
telling you.
very long.
I like the visual. That was my favorite translation. Please enjoy the visual.
Oh, yeah, it's in the trailer. Like,
Instead of the word
please,
trailer.
enjoy
No one ever said trailer. I was
Or-
pulling. I was like, they're gonna make it through the whole thing without saying trailer.
Almost
That word
every-
just doesn't exist in Japan.
And then like a lot of the presenters that came up like after they show it, like, did you like it or did you
Yeah.
enjoy it?
Yeah.
No pause for responses, goes right into like
How about
describing
that?
that. I
yeah,
was like,
no, the term in Japan is just PV, and they don't usually even name a lot of them.
For trailer, PV is
Yeah,
trailer.
PV1, PV2, that kind of thing. Yeah.
What does PV stand for?
promotional video,
yeah.
I think.
Oh, promotional video.
Wow, I should have known that.
Yeah, that's really
Should have been
interesting.
right on top of that piece of information.
And then
Thanks, bud.
But they got past the first party stuff, I think, or they got past the first party stuff. No Last Guardian, so that heartbreak happened first.
No, they're saving that for TGS.
Yeah, we keep saying that. Yeah, that's right. This is just a pre-TGS.
That's
There's
yeah.
so much stuff that can be secret that's not even known yet
Yep,
that can
yep,
be a TGS.
Oh man, next one's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Then they got into I was like, all right, we're gonna have to wait till we get to third party stuff. But then they kept selling every freaking Dynasty Warriors game. Like everything was Dynasty Warriors. As Blood was saying, it was like this franchise Dynasty Warriors treatment. This franchise Dynasty Warriors treatment.
All right,
Then
Donnie Man, I'm really sorry. You're doing a great job recapping this event, but you skipped over something pretty important:
what was that?
a release date for Bloodborne.
Oh, that was when. Oh yeah, that was like the most. Well, that leaked ahead of time by Amazon. So I was like, thanks press conference.
Well, I thought it was a big deal.
It was cool. It was cool, but here was the crappy thing they did, and Sony's done this before. They zoomed out during the live stream because they had a 3 screen setup with,
Okay.
and they zoomed out for that trailer. And
Right.
there was I think Ben was saying there's a few new things during that trailer, and you just couldn't see it clearly because they zoomed out to show you the whole stage and everything, and they didn't want to zoom in. And then at the end, it said like February 5th, Japan.
Because that's the thing. February 5th is very soon.
Yeah.
They don't need any more trailers for that game.
That's right. It's time to play it.
Yeah, that's very, very soon. That was what was surprising to me. Is basically that game was officially announced at E3
Yeah.
this year, and then less than a year later, it is out. That's a pretty crazy turnaround.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
pretty
good.
good. I hope they get it polished up because I mean, as good as it looked, I mean, it was clearly like had some work to be done in terms of performance. So
I think it did well at PAX. I think, at E3 it was looking a little janky, but I think there were very few complaints about those particular things at PAX. But yeah.
And they're living up to their promise. They said at Gamescom within 6 months you're gonna see this game. So February 5th. It just makes it.
That's
Nice.
pretty crazy.
All right, so okay.
everybody's gonna be nuts.
Oh, next, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so hold on. I need you to be a little more specific when you say every game turned into a Dynasty Warriors game.
Like how like a lot of the trailers they showed off, it was just giant. I mean, they aren't technically all Dynasty. There was what Samurai Blade or
There was
Battleborn or whatever that.
No, not Battleborn.
Or,
Where are you going? What is this?
But there was no
Blade something.
Bladestorm.
Bladestorm. thank you.
Bladestorm was there, right?
Yeah.
And then there's
giant-
the Dragon Warrior one, right? The Dragon Quest one.
Dragon Quest Heroes.
Let's not skip to Dragon Quest.
But
yet.
you asked like how many things were there? Like,
Yeah.
so many trailers shown there were medieval battlefields, giant, large scale, controlling one person, hack and slash Muso, and then or a large scale like battle where you're micromanaging small groups. It's just like at least half the show was.
At
felt
least
like that.
half the show?
At least half the show.
I'm
felt
going to
like
say
that.
fewer than 5 games showed that.
No, screen time. Like it felt like they had so much time showing out. Like like they had 44 games, right? That was that number.
Right,
they kept doing.
right. Yeah,
It
yeah.
felt like a majority of the like if you looked at percentage of what
That would be 23
I didn't
games.
see that and
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time.
That would be
Yeah.
23 Warriors.
I'm not saying
games.
23. It felt like the majority of the games, if you broke them up into what they showed off, like Bloodborne was obviously like one game, like survival horror. Then like just Muso games. I felt like they had the most Muso games. But hang on.
Okay.
Because we got to back up.
Sure.
Before we complain about that, after they wrapped up the first party stuff, after they finished that great Bloodborne thing, when Yas came out and was like, "What's up?
Yeah.
Here's Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Here's the trailer you can't see." And we went into the third party. I was like, "Here we go. We're doing this. We're getting the third party stuff." And then the best moment was when the director or one of the head executives of Shueisha went on stage in full costume to announce the the like One Piece and the Dragon Ball, or not announce, but like talk about them.
Yeah.
He's in a full blown cosplay.
And was holding his magazine the whole
and
time.
holding
Yeah.
the volume, and I was like, "This is like everyone needs to dress up like this. This is like way more
Is
entertaining."
that the guy you
now.
pointed out at the beginning of the press
No,
conference?
that
I
was
don't
actually
think that-
there was a
yeah.
guy cosplaying in the audience.
The
completely
bottom right of the
different guy.
screen,
Yeah.
Like I thought it was him for first, but then the helmet was
Completely
on.
different. Yeah.
So that was like amusing, but we kind of like knew about Dragon Ball, whatever the heck that one's called. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
So that was like
Starts with,
boring.
it does have an X in it for
So
sure.
we get to do some real stuff. So Resident Evil Revelations 2, we all knew about this because the leak.
Yeah,
they
but
actually
we
showed
had
off-
visuals.
So they go, we're not going to show you off any game visuals today. We're going to show you off like a live action thing we
Visual.
shot.
We're gonna show you a live action visual.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
So
I
they
got
showed
that.
off.
Live-action
They
PB.
showed off a live action of this like little kid walking through, like people are passing by, and then you see like these wristbands that either glow green or red, and then the further she gets along, or I forget if it was a he or she, and you start seeing more and more zombies or whatever they're going to be called.
But they all got wristbands.
And they all got wristbands.
Yeah.
And at the end, it approaches a wall of them, and then you see
Yeah.
this like face that's going like, I'm like going across all three screens. It says Revelations 2, and then the eyeball, shows, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we'll have you'll be able to play it at TGS. That's
Yeah.
it.
And apparently, it all takes place on an island. So I think we know that at this point.
That
Shutter
Island.
Island.
Yeah. So yeah, confirmed quickly, right? Like that was our
Yeah,
rumor last
I mean-
week, and this week it's confirmed.
And it'll be playable at TGS, so
Yeah.
a week and a half we'll see it playable. So it was nice that they didn't like show everything there. They made an announcement.
Another thing Shuhei Yoshida announced was a new Everybody's Golf, Hot Shots Golf, Mina No Golf, different names for the same type of franchise.
It's like
Yeah.
realistic looking graphics, but the characters are
Oh, it's
still...
had big heads, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of like funny. That's
Well, that's just the way
what
the
they
franchise has been, yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the first new thing they showed. I was like, oh. did they
Also,
start with
one
that?
of very few PS4 only things that were announced. Most things announced during this pre-TGS
yeah.
conference, or at least PS4 Vita, PS4, PS3. One of very few only PS4 things.
We still
Bloodborne
we haven't
as
got-
well.
We haven't got to the good stuff yet.
Okay.
So Harada comes out from Bandai Namco, wearing an Idolmasters t-shirt.
Yeah.
So you're like, here we go, Tekken 7.
Right, yeah.
Hey, Tekken 7, we're going to see the actual gameplay.
Because Harada is someone who is, I think, director of Tekken series.
Here we go. It's like
Yeah.
Tekken. Or maybe we're going to get the other, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, the other
Yeah.
one now. We're going to see that. And we got Summer Lesson.
Explain.
Project Morpheus, VR game.
Yeah.
Where you're in a Japanese schoolgirl's room.
Yeah.
I think you're their professor.
Sure.
And you're giving them a private lesson.
Well, tutor.
Or tutor.
Yeah.
And it's basically what you expect from Japan. Sadly. That's a bad stereotype, but that was basically the reaction a lot of people were
I
having.
never expected something so overt to be in a press conference. You are at points on the floor glaring up at
like
her.
she drops the pencil and
Oh my gosh.
you go down to pick it up and you look up and she's like covers, like she does the no symbol with her hands.
Yeah.
And she looks all flustered. I was like, oh no. So
This is a game.
It's been appropriately dubbed waifu simulator.
Wow.
But now people are hoping there's also going to be like a male character in there as well. So, we could have like, husband do
Sure.
simulator as well.
I mean, I
And
guess it would only be fair. But no, okay, because like a
explains-
tutor should not be. You shouldn't. That's like that kind of relationship shouldn't be.
But
you
it's in the
shouldn't twist it
like
like
daytime
that.
with the windows open. You know?
Oh my gosh, no.
But this is basically
During the summer, she's trying to get some
no.
extra credit. What is wrong with you
The
people?
line for that at TGS, if it's there, that will be the biggest line of TGS, and the population. We've got to be worried about the future now, because people are just going to lose themselves in VR if that's the future of VR.
I get the defense. I guess the defense is that, like, you know what? This is a safe place to explore these taboos. But I'm just like, gosh, I don't know. I can't believe that was in that press conference.
Basically confirmed Tekken 7 is never happening because Harada's going to be playing that game forever. It's never going to come out. And it probably confirms a lot of other developers are playing that game.
Like, dude, that was insight into the future. Honestly, 10 years from now, we're going to be like, oh, that thing sucked. Now we all have our own little summer lessons. Like, that was it, dude. That is what is going to destroy humanity, is summer lesson.
That was a highlight moment. That got people kind of excited.
It was shocking. It was at least shocking. It was like, whoa, okay,
So,
what is
alright,
this?
so
Yeah.
that's cool. So we had that. Then they bring out Kojima eventually. Like, oh, here we go.
Oh.
Like
Yeah.
he tweeted out an image of like not steroid some kind of a vitamin like jar, like for vitamins, and then he had the stream on a screen in the background, and he had his iPhone cover for Diamond Dogs, and we're like, oh, here we go, new Metal Gear information.
Wait, what
happening.
are the vitamins? Explain that part.
I don't know what they are. I asked someone to translate in Gaff, and they're like, oh, they're like supplemental vitamins. Or
Okay.
something.
All right. So they were honestly just his vitamins.
Oh yeah, he just had them like in the background.
Not a
I
hint
don't
of
know
anything,
if it meant anything else.
Yeah.
So he gets up there and he starts talking about like, I want to talk about PT. And then they show people in the background, like people in dark rooms, playing PT for the first time during the reaction. Didn't really say anything new about the game. Just explained kind of like, this is what we were trying to do with it. We're like really pleased with the reaction. Oh, stay tuned for like more information. Like
we saw Guillermo del Toro for the first time.
You saw like
he did
a
little
video
pre-recorded
doc.
video.
Yeah, video doc talking about that. They talked about.
Didn't he announce the number was like 30 million people checked out PT?
Oh shoot, I
Was
missed
that
that.
after
I missed
30
that
million?
detail.
That can't be right.
Or something? Or
There's
some-
only 10 million PS4s.
Yeah.
I
some
forget.
big number.
They
of
might
people
have.
who
They might
checked
have
it
said
out.
it. I forget
How
what
many
the number
downloads, I
was.
can't remember.
But Guillermo del Toro gave like a backstory about how he met Mr. Kojima, how they like started this project
Kojima-san.
up.
Oh yeah. They went to his creepy creativity house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they talked about that, but
Had a summer lesson.
they didn't really show off
my gosh.
anything new. And then the screens behind Kojima changed to the Phantom Pain. Like, here we go.
Before he was ready, he was still talking about
Yeah,
PT.
he was still talking about PT. Then he had to look behind him. He's like, oh wait, Phantom Pain's
Okay,
up. Oops. So you're like, that's a sign. I mean, there's something to show. And he goes, I have nothing new to share with you today about the Phantom Pain.
But I will at
That's
TGS.
hilarious.
But I will at TGS. Thank
Right.
you. And I was like, oh, why'd you even do that?
This pre-TGS conference. Yeah.
So disappointing. I was like, all right, well, thanks. So I was like, nah, no Konami stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, man, what else do we have here? Who else could be doing stuff? Then Atlas came out, saved the day.
Yes.
See this anime sequence start, and Ben Moore is like, shut up. Ah, this is it.
So did you and Matt shut up during that part?
Yeah, we just like
Okay.
watched him.
Okay.
We were watching him more than we were watching
Sure.
like that. Just watching his face evolve.
Yeah.
As you clearly could tell, it was a persona. And then like the P5 logo shows up, and he starts like going nuts. And then like a lot of people got excited. And then all they showed was the anime sequence, and then said like PS4. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
an important part.
Yeah.
First the PS3 faded in, and then the PS4 faded in.
and then 2015, because
Yes.
everyone who was rational knew that game was not coming out this year, because the original trailer said 2014.
Yeah.
But if you don't show off any footage of a JRPG and there's only like 3 months left in the year, it's not coming out this year. You could speculate that it probably got delayed because they want
To
to
add
put
the
it on
PS4.
PS4.
And I think not a lot of people would complain about that.
But yeah, there are a lot of people tweeting images of like throwing their PS3 in the trash, like I don't need it anymore. Like that was the only reason I'm holding on my PS3. It's time
There's
to...
plenty of reasons to hold on your PS3. Don't throw it away. What do you
Yeah.
do with that?
So Persona 5, like showed that off. Japan is apparently dubbing the hero Potter. That is
Because he has
his
glasses?
nickname, because he looks like Harry Potter. He's got like the little emblem that looks like he's part of one of the,
Oh,
like the
funny.
schools.
Sure.
So that's apparently his official nickname is Potter
Potter. Okay, I like that for now.
or Hero.
Was this guy actually in the conference?
Yes. So
It was another trailer.
there was a
though,
trailer.
Just a trailer.
It was just a trailer, and then they revealed the logo at the end. You know, it's Sky 5.
Character art, like flat character
Yeah,
art.
you
It
saw
wasn't
the
as
character art, you
impressive.
knew
Yeah,
it was a Disguise game, and
Yeah.
then they showed that off.
Yeah, but I heard that it's only PS4, right? It's not coming to PS3.
Yeah, it's on PS4, I believe. Is what they said. So
Yeah.
like,
I think
oh.
so. Yeah.
But then someone was just joking. Someone made a remark. Oh, it'll still look like a PS3 game. They're just putting it on PS4.
No, I think there's some interview where they say this would only be possible on PS4.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people
Huh.
say when they're asked.
Sure,
why games
okay.
only on PS4.
Yeah, I wonder
It's
what
like
they're doing.
this
Alright.
game is only possible on Xbox One, not
Yeah.
on PS4. It's
Sure,
like,
alright.
okay, why? So they had some like smaller announcements in there, but again, I swear there were so many like Dynasty Warriors type looking games in between some of these cool announcements that mattered a little bit more. And then I'm sure I'm forgetting something. I'm trying to remember all the stuff, but it wrapped up
Can we
with
have a side bet? Can you guys just
Oh, with the percentage
on
of
how many actual
10%.
Dynasty Warriors?
we can't do that because there's like too much gray area of
Oh,
like,
okay.
that's pretty Dynasty Warrior. You know what I mean?
But
It is-
this was
that's the lasting impression, and that's a legitimate
well,
opinion. You know what I mean?
everyone I talked to, like after like both Matt and Ben, like, man, there's so many Japan loves Dynasty Warriors, and then I went back into my like voice chat with my like the Gaff Guild, and they're like, man, that thing was like 70% Dynasty Warriors and anime waifu simulators.
Okay, so I think part of the reason why everyone says it's 70% Dynasty Warriors is the last reveal.
Yeah,
The screen went up.
Square Enix.
Yep.
Something happened to the staircase.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
The staircase was real the
They
whole
started
time.
bringing
And I
out the-
missed this. I'm
Yeah.
sleeping on.
During third parties, they had the staircase that it would
Yeah.
appear, and like people would like walk down it or
Yeah.
walk up it, and so Square Enix happens. This is where it was more me. So we weren't focused on Ben anymore. So I guess everyone's probably looking at
Oh,
me.
because you thought it's time for Final
So
Fantasy
I see
15.
it and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
there's no way this is 15. So what is this gonna be? Like,
Yeah.
could it be 15? I'm like, all right, Square Enix is the last trailer, getting one trailer, so it has
Yeah.
to be good.
Yeah.
As soon as I went to the text, so remember, I don't really know Japanese. As soon as I saw the text, just the style of it, I was like, Final Fantasy Type 0, I'm out of here.
Whoa.
And then all of a sudden I hear, I see something, and Ben's like, no! And I turn around with this like glimmer of hope, like, it's 15? It's Dragon Quest. No. But I was like, wait. Wait. Then I was like, wait. No, Dragon Quest 11 is going to be on PS4?
That'd
This
be
is
huge.
actually huge.
Yeah.
And then you see the fighting style in the CD. I'm like, wait. This is not Dragon Quest 11.
There's too many
This
monsters.
is a Dynasty Warriors game.
Yeah, it became
And then
apparent very
Dragon
fast.
Quest Heroes. I was like, oh man, get ready, everyone. Every single franchise is going to have a Dynasty Warriors. We're going to have Final Fantasy Dynasty Warriors. We're going to have Pokemon Dynasty Warriors. You're going to have John Madden Dynasty Warriors. Everything's going to become Dynasty Warriors now.
Tomb Raider
In
Dynasty
Japan.
Warriors.
Tomb Raider.
God,
Oh man, the images
Hyrule
of a
Warriors-
Madden Dynasty Warriors
Madden
going through my
Dynasty
head
Warriors.
right now.
Hyrule Warriors, I'm not that interested in even as much as I love Zelda, but man, a Final Fantasy, I would play
Final
that. I'd
Fantasy
play that.
Dynasty Warriors.
I
How
have
about
to play that.
WWE?
You can remake your Final Fantasy 7 HD levels. Like,
Yeah.
he's getting
I
Cloud
mean,
with a Buster Sword killing up a bunch of people.
it bums me out. It bums me, like, in the Dynasty, like, Dragon Quest monsters shouldn't be that easy to beat. You shouldn't be able to just lop them all off. Dragon Quest starts in a space where it's just like, oh, slime can kill you. You know what I mean? And so it just kind of sucks to be like, oh, here I'm a Dragon Quest hero. You're all gonna get slayed under my like, oh my gosh.
And then that silver slime PS4.
An
Where you
announcement. Yeah.
tilt it at the right angle and you see the slime, but then it has that add-on, that little slime statue that you like place on top of it.
You plug into your
yeah,
USB
you plug
drive.
it in and
yeah.
like it sticks on and it
Yeah.
lights, I don't know if it lights up or not. I
It
forget.
does not light up.
Why don't
But-
you plug it in?
They called it a USB cover.
Okay, USB cover.
Yeah, it covers your USB
So you
slots.
totally expect that to
while
like,
you're not charging
yeah,
controllers.
expect to pay over $1,000 to import that.
Yeah, it
You're
looks
looking for
nice. It's one of the nicest looking custom
Pretty
PS4s I've
pretty
ever
sick.
seen. Just a metal slime.
You just
on the
reminded me
side,
that
yeah.
they spent a lot of time on Destiny during that press conference at the beginning.
Right, and
'Cause they had
Bungie's
the
COO came out and just
glacial
yeah.
white.
yeah.
Ugh. So much Western
They
stuff.
did a lot of that with Killzone last year.
Yeah,
But
thank
that-
goodness he was there. You know, it's like, oh, and now to go to him to make an important announcement about Bungie. He's like, hey, guys, we're really excited. We're working on the game. It's going to be big. We're getting it to you soon. It's like,
2 weeks.
did you hear that?
It was not an announcement. Yeah, it was basically just like, we care about you.
Yeah.
Here's a friendly face. I'm
I wonder if
important
they
at
like.
Bungie.
I wonder if they actually offered
Yeah.
to like fly him out, and he's like, "Wait, what am I? I'm just reading that. No, I'll send you a video." On
Sure,
that.
yeah,
I'm not
I
going
hope
to
so.
Tokyo to.
It was a smart decision if that was the case.
The grandeur for the Dragon Quest Heroes entrance when the two guys they like open up like the curtain reveal who's behind the curtain.
Yes.
And they're just standing there and they play the Dragon Quest theme. They start marching down the stairs and there's like they have they're holding up they have a person holding up the system and then the new that was the biggest news or big news the new Sony president or whatever that guy who was doing the presentation. He announced
yeah,
that was
yeah,
like
yeah.
the day he goes the news came out today like I'm
New president of Sony Japan Entertainment. Yeah, Sony Entertainment
so
Japan.
he was on stage too.
Asia. Yeah.
All of these big wig guys on stage and playing Dragon Quest music and like total photo op and all this stuff and I was like their big thing and I was like secretly I'm on the couch like I hate this I hate video games right now. I hate life. Where's Final Fantasy 15?
Oh,
and
sure.
then proceeded to go to
TGS,
GAF and
don't
see
worry.
the number one topic was where the F is Final Fantasy 15.
It's at TGS. That was the thing. I don't know why we did. Why did we think we did a pre-TGS 2 weeks early PlayStation conference? What was the meaning of this?
Oh man, Square Enix.
To prep, it's kind of funny. It's like whenever we have pre-rolls in front of trailers, and so
Sure.
it's like a trailer for a trailer. And whenever we have like a big thing we're doing, our E3 coverage, or we're going to PAX, we'll do a promo and stuff like that. And it's just like, oh god, I watched a pre-roll to watch a trailer for another video. And now we have like announcements of announcements of announcements.
But I don't know. I mean, they're not going to do another press conference at TGS, right?
Some people believe. Someone on Twitter told me they're going to do another one.
Huh.
Those are usually pretty boring. They're usually done at the convention center.
Oh,
and
not
it's the
live
two executive.
streams.
They basically it's like the kind of like the raised chairs we're sitting on. They sit close, like interview style,
Yeah.
Okay.
with a little table with their water. A bunch of people in the audience sitting down like on lawn chairs, not lawn chairs, but like reclining chairs.
Yep.
And they just have a little screen behind them, and it's very like formal in terms of like it's very dry.
Yeah, no, I remember what you're
very
talking
boring,
about from last
and
year.
nothing really comes out of it. But
No
like
cosplay?
press swarm to it there. Like the Japanese press are like all there, like astutely like listening, like, oh man, this is important. I'm like, I'm not seeing any video game stuff said here. And then afterwards, I'm like, did they announce anything big? No. I'm like, well, why did so many people go to this? It seems like boring and a waste of time.
So you're telling me if there was a Last Guardian announcement, it would have happened already?
Yes, Kyle.
Okay.
It's okay, Kyle.
What's okay?
There's a Last Guardian, help hotline.
I'm
that
sure
you
there
can- you
is.
can
I bet at
call.
this point there's at least a website
Yes.
where like other people.
Last Guardian
brief-
actually does sound like a suicide prevention hotline.
The Last Guardian.
Brief counseling, Kyle. It's available.
Oh boy.
So
Bring it down.
we talked about that for the first half of the show. We should move on. But that was an interesting thing that happened. That was a cool thing to watch. It was long, it was weird, but always entertaining to see how video games are presented in another part of this earth.
Yeah, and the Xbox launched to no fanfare. People in Japan didn't know it was even happening.
Yeah, gosh, I think the 360 launch had some momentum at it in Japan, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there were definitely times where like the 360 kind of had little peaks where they had those exclusive JRPGs and stuff. But yeah, I mean, most people didn't realize like it was actually even happening. It's kind of weird.
It's super weird. I mean, I guess at some point you just have to be in every market.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of hopeless there. I'm not sure what the Xbox One can do in Japan.
Yeah, because I mean, the Wii U's already outsold the 360, so.
Halo Warriors.
It's happening. Halo Warriors.
That'd be cool.
Killer Instinct
Bunch of energy
Warriors.
swords.
Yeah, because Master Chief already kills hundreds of things. You know what I mean?
Rare.
Master Chief would never be killed by one slime.
Yeah, but what would all the other characters be?
I don't know. Elites.
all the things they fight in the Halo series.
Yeah.
Sure.
Be great. And then it'd be Gears Warriors.
Gears Warriors.
It's not happening.
Warriors.
All right. Okay, let's move on. A huge thing happened basically right after our episode went up last week.
Yeah.
Nintendo announced the new 3DS, which is named New 3DS.
Right.
How can we explain this thing? It's
Name for
basically,
now, or is that like the name?
Well, so
It's a terrible name.
a really interesting aspect of this is that it has not been announced officially anywhere outside of Japan.
Wait.
No, they announced
They
it.
announced it, just not dates. They just said it is coming out. Like, Europe was more vocal about what's going on. They said it's coming out in 2015 in Europe.
Sure.
But during Iwata said that it's going to come out in Western territories, including North America, just not this year.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think Nintendo of America did follow up with an announcement.
And
where
we call it New 3DS as well?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's what they're using now, but
Sure.
I doubt they'll change it. But you were right. Like, it was a Japanese-only direct, and it was like, because it's coming out in October.
October 11th.
October 11th.
Really soon.
So soon.
Yeah.
And I think they just want to confuse people like, hey, it's not coming to North America or Europe anytime soon, so chill out, guys.
You don't need to know about it yet.
You don't
is
need
what
to know
they told
about it.
us.
Just
Sure.
pay no attention to
Yeah.
that system behind the curtain.
Sure.
But yeah, so it's got an extra analog nub thing.
It's
on the
smaller
right.
than a button. It's
Yeah.
so small, this nub. Yeah, yeah.
So I'm curious how that's going to feel. It's got the extra shoulder buttons, and it has a faster processor, and apparently a more stable 3D image, so that you don't have to like hold it in that perfect sweet spot as much.
It tracks your eyes.
It tracks your
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
Has
that's
motion
why it's
tracking,
more
or
stable.
they
Is
claim
because it tracks
does.
your eyes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah. That's why it has a wider field
Yeah,
of view.
and
It's
with
'cause
the
it's like watching
increased
your eyeballs.
processing power and stuff, it will have exclusive games. Like Xenoblade was the first one that they announced.
First and only. Xenoblade Chronicles will be out on the new 3DS only.
Right.
Yeah, pretty crazy announcements.
So it's basically like this generation's DSi.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a really good parallel. I don't think it's the next 3DS.
No.
And there were games for DSi that could only be played on DSi. I think none of them were in retail packages though. I think they were all downloadable.
No, there were some because the DSi had the camera on it, right?
Yes.
So there were box games that required the camera. That you
Oh,
could
probably
only
like the
play on-
Wario one, right? There was a WarioWare that was DSi only.
Could be. I don't remember that one, but
Okay. But then what else was DSi only?
I don't
couldn't have
remember the
been,
name
like-
of it, but
there wasn't-
there were not a lot.
There was nothing like Xenoblade Chronicles for the DSi. You know what I mean? Like, that's a huge announcement to
Right.
say this will only be on new 3DS. It's going to get a lot of us to buy new 3DSs. Probably at this table, even. I'm curious, actually.
I think just like again that more stable screen is enough,
Extra battery life.
kind of for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damian, you going to buy one?
I'm celebrating the fact that I didn't buy a 3DS XL. I was smart and waited because now I can wait for this one and not be dumb and
Which
bought a second 3DS
I
that's
don't-
going to be obsolete.
No.
Yeah, that's interesting too. Is that they actually announced both versions at the same time. So
Yes.
you have this regular size and the XL size for
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that prefer one or the other.
Oh.
Sorry, Smash Brothers 3DS, not getting you.
Oh, and it
not
has
getting
Canceled.
it has the NFC reader inside too.
Yep, you just put
Yes.
it on there.
For the
Yeah, you
Amiibos.
can
Oh, of
put your
course.
Amiibos straight on the console.
What's up?
Right?
And it's got the
Right.
Famicom button set. What's up?
And that part
On
is
the
cool.
small, on the, it looks better on the smaller
Right.
3DS.
So the XL is, I think, meant to look a little more mature in an interesting way. This is a really funny discrepancy. On the smaller version of new 3DS, the buttons are big, colorful buttons. Again, like the Super Famicom
like
colors.
they should be.
And then on the XL version of the new 3DS, they're the color of the 3DS itself, but the letters are colored,
Yeah.
Huh.
and so it's like a little more serious, a little more mature.
Same thing with the packaging for the boxing. The
Yeah.
3DS, the new 3DS LL box. This vertical box. It's like white or black, and it's just got this system kind of at an angle and going onto the different sides. And then the regular new 3DS packaging is amazing. It's like these like diagonal bars of like game artwork, and then the 3DS is embedded like hidden within one of them. So like the focus of the box isn't even the system. It's all these cool artwork. It's like really weird looking, but it's awesome. Like I haven't seen a box like that.
Yeah, I mean that box assumes you already know what its product is.
It's got
Right.
Mario on the front.
Right.
Yoshi.
And so I think
That's
that,
interesting. I mean, I know when they originally released the XL, like the idea was it was because they had brain age and stuff for old people, so it's like, you know, it's kind of like the large print
It was an
edition of a
accident.
book.
Yeah.
And then the fact that other people wanted a bigger screen, like that, for some reason that was outside of their brains. But it's weird that it feels like they're still sort of going towards that, like the older, more serious tone.
Well, I think they're like looking at their demographics, and a bunch of older people are buying 3DSs these days. To me, that's not interesting. I guess I'd be fine with big, colorful buttons, though. I guess I don't need to like my buttons to look mature.
You got to save that version. You get the big colorful button version. So you'll regret. You'll go out and you'll buy the first launch, and then a couple weeks later they'll announce the rainbow
You know what I'm bummed about?
new 3DS XL.
I'm not bummed out that my XL will be worthless. I'm bummed out that my little docking bay will be worthless. Like, the new version of the XL is like 2 centimeters bigger, so it won't fit in my sweet little docking bay that I use my Club Nintendo points on. It's, I
But
mean,
you're not gonna have to worry about that for another 5 months.
it's
6
funny to
months?
get bitter about it, but like iterations is what Nintendo should be doing with those products.
Yes. This is happening. So we've been talking about DSi. That happened a little bit later in the DS's lifespan than the new 3DS is happening in the 3DS's lifespan.
Yeah.
Because this is only the third full year, going to be entering year 4 for this, because it came out in April 2011.
Okay.
So April 2014 already passed. So that was like the start. So 12. Yeah. So wait, we're in year 3 then, right? I'm bad at math right now.
Yeah. Well.
No, it's because the
Wh-
2011 counts
right,
as the 1
when
year.
April
2011,
comes around.
2012 is 1
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
2012, 2013 is 2 year. So the third year. So this is the start of the 4th year. We
Yeah,
haven't
maybe
completed it for you. I was right.
Yeah.
Kyle using his tricks on me.
I was
Basic-
just giving you
basic
glances. That was the most I ever did.
Kindergarten math fail
Okay.
right there.
All right.
But no, like it's happening. Or the point is that it's happening earlier on in the 3DS's lifespan, I feel, than the DSi.
Well, DS was DS, and then there was a
DS
DS
Lite.
Lite, right, and then DSi.
So, but this is not just like a form factor revision; it's internal hardware revision.
right, and DSi was as well.
So
which was
this,
very-
I
yeah.
wonder, they did this with the DS, but to a lesser extent with the like not as great of an extent as they're doing with new 3DS. So I wonder if this is like them pushing a little further to do like incremental, hardware increase. That's not quite the next handheld system, but something to keep it still relevant and on par with what everyone else is offering on mobile phones, so that Nintendo's like, hey, we're still like, look, it's like more powerful, and you should buy this one. Even if you bought your 3DS, and it can run better games. Look at this. Like, you're getting even better games now. Like, it's not even a whole new system. It's just...
You're getting one better game.
It's like, what's what phones do. Phones do those incremental
Yeah,
upgrades.
exactly.
Like, iPhone 4. Here's the 4S. Here's your 5, the brand new one. Like, they do, like, an in-between. I wonder if Nintendo's like, maybe we need to be doing that. So here's
Well, no, I mean,
new
they've
3DS.
talked about that before, and we still haven't really seen what that means, but they're, having a platform that goes across hardware iterations.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm curious how they're going to achieve that, especially since, we do see this divide. These new 3DS games won't play on the original 3DS, but in the future it sounds like they want to be able to have those incremental upgrades, but games that play across them.
So you think even the thing after the new 3DS will still be a thing that opens up with 2 screens?
I think so. I still kind of am holding on to this theory that it may just be a portable Wii U that will play all the Wii U games, but we'll see what actually happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, next thing on their plans is the quality of life stuff.
Well,
Like based off of like when they had that 5-year, here's what we want to do in 5 years. Like the next thing they have to check off is their weird quality of life thing, and then they'll probably worry about next console or.
well,
or
no,
handheld.
I mean that's a different team, but yeah.
It's one company that doesn't have that much resources to spread around hardware.
Well, they've consolidated a little bit too, but anyways, we'll figure it out.
No, what do you mean? If they consolidated, then there's even less chance of them putting out multiple hardware at once.
No, they're handheld and they're console groups.
Oh, that's consolidated into
Yeah.
one. Right. Bled, are you possibly thinking that quality of life and the next hardware from Nintendo as a gaming hardware will come out in the same year?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's possible.
Oh my gosh, I think it's.
I mean, quality of life is going to be a completely separate thing. It's
Yeah,
going
it's
to be
gonna
like how
be
they still
weird.
make Hanafuda cards, It's,
Yeah. It's gonna be so dopey.
Kyle,
What?
can I buy the new 3DS right now? I want to go to a GameStop. I'd like to get my kid a new 3DS. Oh, you mean like a 3DS XL? Like a new one for them, right? Yeah. Well, what about the new... Can I get a new 3DS?
Mom, I want a new 3DS.
Are you getting ready for
yeah,
that?
it's not
Yeah.
a good name.
Yeah, I
There
mean,
is
Just
so
got
much
you a new
confusion.
3DS.
yeah.
I just see a parent like
birthday
a
was 7 months
salesperson
ago.
just like do you want a new 3DS or do you want a new 3DS? Like too many news here.
I'd like a
what's different?
used new 3DS.
like a
I
used
was
new
just going to
3DS.
say
You
that.
want new
No.
Super Mario Brothers 2 for your new 3DS?
Go to Nintendo
Yeah.
service hotline. I would like to get my new refurbished new 3DS. No, refurbished new 3DS.
Yeah.
You either get new or get refurbished.
And what's funny is the new has the same sparkles coming out of it that Amiibo has, the Amiibo logo.
Oh, right.
And so I think Amiibo is
I've
going to
seen
be a
those
big
sparkles
initiative.
before.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like those sparkles. There's something up
They're
about those
noticeable
sparkles.
enough that you see a through line with those sparkles.
New Wii U. Should we count on that? Is that happening?
I'd like the new Wii U. Is that the peripheral?
Stop. Well,
The
okay,
new
we get the
peripheral?
bit.
Like Wii U new.
We get the bit, but
And then
is
they
it-
rename it the old Wii U. Like when they make it smaller instead of like Wii U Lite.
Wii U
like,
Retro.
Old Wii U.
yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested if they do iterative on also their consoles. I mean, new Wii
Isn't
U.
that what the Wii U is?
Yeah,
3DS.
yeah, you're right.
The Wii name after this hardware is done. They're
Okay.
never using Wii.
All right.
Wii New.
I would
That's
be.
a gone.
The Wii New.
The Wii New is pretty good though.
That's
We
pretty
knew.
good.
How do
would
you
buy
not do
this.
Wii New? All right. Sounds like we're all getting a new 3DS too, which is
Yeah,
the
no,
sad thing.
I'm. Yeah. I will
It's the
get
only
that
way you're
for
gonna be
sure.
able to play Majora's Mask.
I hope we get
Yes.
some. I hope we get
You're
some
right.
sent to us so that I can at least look at the screen differences. I was not sold on the XL because I just felt like the resolution looked too chunky at that size.
Yeah, I mean, I think the.
I
new
think it'll be
XL
the
will
same
have
thing,
issue.
but I'll be curious if it's any better.
Will you get a new regular size?
Probably.
Okay.
Ooh. There you
Um,
go. There's the market right there.
there's the market.
In effect.
Yep.
We can open the case on this one as well. Like to get that's where the micro SD storage is on the new 3DS.
Oh, right. You open the back.
Yeah, so you
open
can actually
with-
get to it. They used remember like Vita and 3DS like
They have weird screws.
They didn't want you to get
Yeah.
to the battery because that was like how people were
The
like
tri-wing screws
hacking,
or whatever?
they
Yeah.
were hacking the system doing battery tricks. So
Yeah.
no, there's like no, just go ahead. There you go.
Yeah, because now they can do system updates, and that's the way they can fight all that stuff.
Yep.
So let's talk about really quickly Samsung's announcement this week.
Oh,
Gear
yeah.
VR. This is a VR headset in which you can put your little Samsung phone, slide it in, clip it in, and then you have VR on the go. Brandon nods his head. Damiani shakes his head.
I'm nodding my head like, yes, that's a thing that happened.
Yeah, well,
I'm encouraging you, Kyle.
Is it a
You're
good
doing
idea?
Great job.
Is it a good idea?
Not right now. I don't think anything with VR is awesome right now.
Well, here's the thing. This is coming out this year.
Yeah, it's just not gonna. It's not gonna get there yet. It's
Yeah.
gonna be, Wii before Motion Plus. Even then, it's. I think it's just such a. We're seeing the first baby steps in this technology in any form, and I don't think it's something that's really gonna catch on.
What I think is interesting about it
Yes.
is that we've had this conversation before a lot about how VR is niche. It's going to be basically this expensive thing that only this niche group cares about. This hardcore group of VR people. A phone is sort of a broad audience they're going after.
Yeah.
And the first game they announced for it is Temple Run VR, which is a casual game. Blood, do you think there's a market for casual VR?
Oh, of course. And I mean, I think that there's going to be, again, kind of those like other applications and stuff like Google Maps or something along those lines. So like you go to Street View and you just like look around and orient yourself.
Yeah, but it'd be weird because Street View isn't in 3D. Sometimes it is, but like...
It's not fully 3D, but
Yeah.
you could still look around like a panoramic view.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see how they can save some costs in terms of like whatever motion tracking's already in a phone, but I don't know how good it could be.
Right.
You
kind of don't believe in it, right? Like it kind of seems too good to be true, I guess.
Exactly. Like it's just how much faster you're gonna get seasick with this thing.
A lot faster, hopefully. They can sell it that way in less time.
Seasick
That's
simulator.
super sick. Damiani, why were you shaking your head so much?
And I feel this thing's only a move to just get to the market fast before everything else is like
Get some money.
officially sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get some money and see if people will just want VR. Like we'll get in before it's too late where everyone else is jumping in and there's just no way to get any traction. At the same time, just like envisioning like you're putting that headset on, you're playing a game, you get a phone call. It's like you're playing like Angry Birds VR, like
Yeah.
shooting yourself through. It's like,
Yeah.
hi mom, playing Angry Birds VR. Just like moving your head around, so I'm
Summer
trying to do
lesson.
it.
Like I have faith in our society mostly, but like I can just see the billboards now and it's like, don't VR and drive. Like I know it's tempting to play the latest
Right.
sports racing game.
You're riding
you
on the
could-
bus
to
or
play
train
Mario
and you're just
Kart
doing it like in public,
portable.
like
Yeah, you could have one eye on the road
No.
with the camera, and then it could to your right
No.
eye project the game.
Such a bad idea.
It is a bad idea, but I'm gonna work on that right now.
People are just like, I can drive. I'm watching my car on GPS. There's a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
of
all they
delay,
need to
but
do.
Yeah.
I'm giving someone $1 million
They could
$1 idea
superimpose
right here.
things on the real world.
Yeah, there you go. $1 million idea. You just get screens that you could like project graphics on like a HUD.
Uh-huh.
You turn driving into a game, but not like a safe game in terms of like stay in your lane, earn
Yeah.
100 points,
Yeah.
use your blinker directional, 200 points, drive the speed limit. And you're competing with everyone else.
Yeah,
to
like
get
keep
people
a
to
safe distance
to
from
keep
the car in
people
front
to
of you.
drive better. Turn
Yeah,
it
that's
into
a
a
really
game.
cool idea. If you
I
use your
still
turning
though I
signal
would
before a
get
turn,
I would
you
get
get
so
bonus
far
points.
away from anybody that I saw with goggles on.
No, it wouldn't be goggles. Just be on their screw, like on
Like
the.
I'm going two
Yeah,
lanes
yeah,
over.
yeah.
You wouldn't be
right now.
wearing anything. It would just be on like the glass screen in front of you. You know, when
we
they
call
call
it
that
windshield.
technology.
Yeah, it's on
Yeah,
your
so it's just
windshield.
telling you, oh, congratulations. Like it would highlight the lane, like stay in this lane. You know, use your you can't. It's double yellow. Don't cross over it. You know,
Everyone
get
would just think
penalized.
it's too lame to actually play it though.
No, it'd be so cool.
It gets people to start tweeting and Facebook.
I'd be
liking
so good
it.
at that.
You level up. There's definitely some leveling up. There's super cute
That's how,
characters.
that's how like teen driving school should be done.
Yeah.
Turn it into a
This is
game.
a sick idea. A parallel park, dude. That's how you level up. That's like a boss fight.
Oh man.
If you nail a parallel park, like the boss like blows up.
You know,
It's
one
gonna be
day there's
really
gonna
cool.
be like when they have automated cars. That scene from Back to the Future is gonna be about parallel parking. You mean you have to use your hands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the parallel park? Nope. Don't do that anymore. Your car, Batman car.
Well,
Push
I
the
mean,
button.
no, there
Cars
are
already do
already
that, yeah.
cars that do that.
Yeah, Batman button.
Yeah.
Or it goes into Batman mode. Self parks.
Okay,
Drives
quick
itself.
aside. Brandon, how do you feel as a Batman fan when the Batmobile drives itself?
I'm cool with that. What is that?
Yeah, I hate that.
It's a tool, man. It's a tool
It's
like
Alfred
everything else.
driving it.
It's like
He's got the batarangs steer themselves sometimes.
It bothers me almost as much as when the Iron Man suits are piloting themselves.
Well, that's just a dumb action thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you let the Batmobile do everything for him,
Yeah.
then that's dumb. But if it's literally like, I had to run over here and beat up some guy, I don't feel like walking back to the Batmobile, boop, you know, come to where I am,
Sure.
as opposed to like, gotta
So-
grapple to the top of the building. And then
Yeah,
glide over.
I guess as long as the Batmobile doesn't do anything awesome, I'm okay with it. If it's just driving down the street, but if it's like doing the cool stuff that Batman, then there's no purpose for Batman.
Well, and in the in Arkham Knight, you actually remote it, so like he is controlling it, like he's still driving it, he's just not in the car.
Okay,
Oh,
So-
Kyle.
It's still the soul of Batman in the Batmobile.
you're right. He programmed it. That's his own custom drivatar.
You not remember like the great scene in the Tim Burton Batman film where he sends the Batmobile into Joker's like warehouse, the chemical
And
plant,
kills everyone.
and drops the bomb, and then it drives out, and then Batman's just waiting there. Like he just programmed the Batmobile to go in and do all that.
Yeah.
So how do you feel
Killing
about that?
thousands,
Yeah.
How do you
yeah.
feel about
I
that?
don't. I
including
honestly,
some janitor who worked at the factory.
I don't-
Whose child was locked in some basement somewhere.
And
he
all
was
those
being
jobs.
forced by gangsters to work, and Batman's just like, out of the way, buddy.
Yeah,
I gotta maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, kill the Joker.
it never does.
So into it in the 80s, and then like 10 years later, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't. To be honest, I
Those
don't
people
even.
are dead.
I don't like Batman the character. I think he's kind of stupid. Yeah, but this is a video games podcast that is coming to a conclusion. We do have to do corrections and clarifications. So correction music start, please. My gosh, both of our corrections of music or this week are Pokemon themed. The game isn't called Pokken Fighters; it's called Pokken Tournament. So now we know that. That was on me. I kept calling it Pokken Fighters the whole last week.
Honestly, that was just called Pokken, nothing else.
It's called Pokken Tournament. It is about the Pokken Tournament.
It's not what it'll be called in the West.
What do you think it'll be called in the West?
Pokken.
No, it'll be called, well, you know, maybe colloquially,
Colloquially?
maybe between,
Casually.
maybe casually.
Ironic word not to be able to pronounce.
We'll, yeah. Maybe we'll all call it
Colloquialism.
Pokken, but it's gonna be called Pokken Tournament in the U.S. I feel really good about that.
Okay.
You want to do a side bet on that?
It's gonna be called Pokken.
Okay, here's a side bet. If it's not called Pokken, if I win this bet, you have to play that game. The first character you pick, I get to pick for you. The first time you play that game, I get to pick the character for you,
Okay.
and vice versa.
You remember that?
Yeah,
You're
that's
gonna
an easy one.
Keep that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Alright.
Okay, deal.
Pokken.
That's an easy side bet, no real risk. Anyway, we still have the correction music going this whole dopey time. My Pokemon Ranch is the other Pokemon
Oh,
game
yeah.
you can remember. My Pokemon
Well, we were
Ranch.
just trying to remember what the name of that thing was.
Yeah, well, that's what the name is. That's a clarification. And corrections music. Let's talk bets, everybody. Not yet. Don't start dancing yet. We gotta do this week's bet. By this point next week, Destiny will be out.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things I like that Bungie does a lot of, they do their weekly Bungie updates on their own like blog, and they've been doing it since before Halo 2 came out. I remember before Halo 2 came out, I would like read those weekly, look forward to them. Anyway, weird one this week. There will be a weekly update, I think probably before this airs or around when this airs. How many comments will it have by the time this airs, or by the time we're recording next week? Current weekly update has how many? 1,474 comments. So that's a little range that you have. Who went first last week? Was it you, Brandon?
Not me.
I think I went first.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Brandon, you may choose whether you want to go first or last.
I will go first.
Okay,
I will say 1,600.
1,600. Okay, I'm going to go high on this one. I think they're going to blow something up. They're going to be like, it's going to be a big reveal. A lot of people want to
smart.
comment on this. I'm going to say 2,500. Damiani.
I'm going to say 3,000.
Ooh.
That's all right. Bloodworth.
2,100.
2,100. Okay, and we shall lock those bets in. Okay, we should explain now why Brandon is dancing. Last week's bet was how many letters would be in the game that Volition announces at PAX. They announced a game called Saints Row Get Out of Hell, which is a DLC game. It's still a game. 21 letters. Brandon's bet was 18. That was our highest. Brandon wins his second bet in GT Time history.
I can hear the cheers from across the internet.
I feel like they're all anticipated a little bit.
Of course.
But yeah, Brandon.
Because most gamers can count. Most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people have
They
already
wrote the-
called out.
Oh,
that you
you're
already
right.
passed
No,
the
you're
barrier.
right. Everyone knew you already won. You're right.
And the comments told me. Thank you. I really appreciated that. I saw it in the comments on the show for the first time.
It feels good when we
Just
get a
exploded.
Brandon win.
It was right in the middle
Yeah.
of PAX, and you were there to rub it in
Yeah.
right at the moment.
Yeah, that was cool.
Um,
So current tallies: Brandon Jones now at 2 points, Kyle Bossman at 5, Michael Damiani at 7, creeping right up on Daniel Bloodworth at 8. That's our
I
total.
like that order.
Well, I'm slowly creeping.
7,
I have a creep going on.
8.
It's a modest creep.
So you're gonna start a rally right now? Okay,
knows?
Here it
better
comes.
spin your hat around.
1,601 comments on Destiny this week.
So Mr. Jones,
Yeah.
you are now allowed to plug any video you want and also close out the show.
I will plug a video that doesn't exist yet. A video I haven't even started working on yet.
That's unusual. All right.
But next week, pretty much kicks off our review season, and I will be reviewing Destiny as fast as humanly possible. I get to start on Monday, and Marco's
But also-
Tuesday night.
Kind of like what we talked about last week. Take your time. Don't rush through the game. You know that kind of ruins your experience with it.
Right.
Yeah.
It going late is already ruining my experience
Yeah,
with it.
of course.
Yeah, so really frustrated. I got to rush through
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But hopefully we'll have that up by the end of the week. At the very latest, a week from next Monday, the Destiny review. A lot of my other shows are on hiatus. GT Countdown is on hiatus. Let's All Go to the Trailers is kind of in flux right now because we're trying to figure out what's the easiest way to distribute all the trailers that we're encoding through multiple servers that we're sharing between different companies right now.
Yeah.
So
So you're plugging
Nothing
your
current.
Destiny review, which
Yeah.
probably needs no plugs.
which will go up after the next episode of GT Time. But I don't review a lot of games that
Sure.
often. And review meaning I will be.
You don't review every single game.
I don't review every single game. I know I had to disrupt that mythos one day. I kept it going for a long time. And
What if
everybody
you
else
did?
just determines to believe that.
Yeah, what if you wrote for the last 10 years every single game trailers review? You'd be
great.
a superhuman.
I'd be like Bond villain that doesn't sleep and,
Yeah.
and die another day.
That has exquisite opinions on video games, though.
Yeah, that's what I chose to do with it. I had that ability,
Yeah.
and I didn't cure world hunger. I played a lot of video games.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what that means, long story short, I'm going to be writing it, reading it, cutting it, one-stop shop, the whole thing. It's all going to be me. So
Cool.
of course, everyone else is going to be playing Destiny, obviously, and capturing footage that way. But
Yeah,
not
we'll
me, I'll
already
be in San
own it at that
Francisco
point.
after we-
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm taking a long time with this because I will not win again for several weeks. So I'm just going to soak this time up.
Yep.
But you can have all of our Twitter handles here if you want to follow us all on Twitter. Love the comments on GT Time. I need to spend a lot more time reading them.
Yes, we
getting
love
caught
you.
up on the community.
I know there's a lot of craziness,
And
out
that-
there, but
yeah.
we love you.
Yeah, and that really fuels the show. You guys or your interaction with us. Yeah, follow us follow the game trailers on Facebook and Twitter and all the fun social media places. And thank you for listening to us talk for an hour. See you guys next week.
I love the Xbox.
Now, we reveal what is in Damiani's mug.
Objection!
All right. That's good.
And then he just goes back in his shell for like the rest of the week, you know?